There's nothing that's expensive in the market.
There will be a point which will be making market bit slow.
Are you looking to invest to save money, or are you looking to invest to make money?
If you're an investor, don't just jump in because everybody's buying. That's the monkey see, monkey do.
Is it the right time to invest? The answer is
Welcome to today's episode of Vista Show. I am Hitesh Bagmar, founder and managing director of Vista Corporate Group, and I am thrilled to have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Anand Menon, a renowned expert in the real estate industry, ambassador and a seasoned sales trainer in Dubai. In today's podcast, we will be diving into two segments. First, we'll explore Dubai's real estate market, discussing whether now is the right time to invest, compare global market trends, and touch upon important government initiatives and how they are shaping Dubai's future. In second segment, we'll shift our focus to sales, offering valuable advice for aspiring salespeople and real estate companies for qualifying leads, overcoming client objection, and building high-performing sales team in competitive market. So, whether you are a real estate investor or a sales agent or want to level up your sales team, this episode has something for everyone. Let's get started. Before we begin today's podcast, I would like to thank you, Mr. Menon, for joining us. It's truly an honor to have you here. So, could you please introduce yourself briefly, a bit about your journey in Dubai's real estate market?
okay. Briefly, background: I'm a psychologist, PhD in education psychology. Started with the airlines, Emirates Airlines. Looked after their training college for the first 10 years. After that, as when I moved into real estate, I was headhunted for dubaiproperties actually to set up their training function. Did it for all the countries that they were operating in, and for 3 years we looked after that. It was more about training people on real estate investment opportunities and selling real estate. Then I just set up my own companies, and then I expanded. So now I'm into working with brokerages, the developers, doing a lot of work with international developers, handling markets, road shows, training, investing myself, working with investors, joint ventures, so literally anything and everything that's real estate now, not just in Dubai. It could be Abu Dhabi, it could be Ras Al Khaimah, it could be within the region. That's where we're sitting right now.
Amazing. It's like you're brand ambassador for Dubai's real estate market these days, where we see like everything about you when it comes in real estate, something news, some news is coming or some data is getting shared. Definitely the first name comes in front of us is Mr. Menon.
Yeah. It took some time to get there, but the intent was correct, and that is the reason. So it's not official brand ambassador, but it's like people call me that, just like you did now, Hitesh. But yeah, because I honestly feel that all of us who are in this industry have to be ambassadors, firstly for the city of Dubai, and then for real estate. We cannot just come in here to get the benefit of the industry. We have to be ambassadors. We have an amazing ruler who's taking the city into the future. We can't leave it up to him to do that, and we just enjoy the benefits. So I think every single one of us has to be an ambassador.
Absolutely. But what made you think, like, from Emirates, all this work from there to Dubai's real estate market, like why you choose this industry?
Okay, I chose it not because of real estate.
Okay.
I chose it because when I was headhunted to move into Dubaiproperties, we were working with Hussain Sajwani, who at that time wasn't big yet in real estate. We're talking in 2002 is when he started. I joined in January 2006.
Okay.
But I wanted to set up my own business. So he obviously had so many different companies. He had Damac Investments, Damac Food Services. You had Alamana Building Materials in Oman. So we got to see him wearing different entrepreneurial hats, thinking very differently. So that was the biggest learning that would come to me, and that was the reason why I actually joined them. Once I joined them, I understood the potential of real estate, and I saw how big it was going to become, because Sheikh Mohammed's vision was already out there. He was bringing his father's vision, and he was the one who was going to bring it to life. So when I saw that, I realized this was the industry to be part of. After that, there was no looking back.
That's amazing. That's a great choice. And that time you have that kind of vision to step into this after, like, that time 2002, it was just an evolving market. Like, not everyone can look at that thing, what's going to happen in next 10, 20, 30 years. but that vision you have, that's something really we can appreciate for.
Yeah, but that's what's vision, right? Vision is looking beyond the normal and looking beyond the ordinary.
Correct.
And we already had the power cities in the world. And here you had this little Arab emirate that was planning to take on all the big boys in the world. You had to have a grand vision and you had to be able to believe in that vision. And that's where I saw the opportunity. And I'm glad I stayed. In fact, I was actually doing my papers to migrate to Canada. I cancelled it all.
Today, we are glad to have you here so that we can learn many more things about Dubai's real estate market. So we can be one like you in coming 10, 20 years.
Much lesser, I'm sure. You're already there, Hitesh. So I'm thinking anyone, if they put their heart into it, if they really want to contribute to this industry, they can do it. It really doesn't take that long. What it requires is the right intent, the discipline, and the knowledge. You have to pick the right kind of knowledge in there. If you have the intent, everything else is going to follow. That's for
100%.
sure. Yeah.
100%. Regarding this Dubai's real estate market, is it the right time to invest in the real estate, especially at this point of time?
Okay. Now, to answer that question, we have to look at 3 or 4 different dynamics.
Okay.
Why? Real estate is about the future.
Correct.
So we've had 4 great years now post-pandemic,
Yeah.
but anyone who's investing is more concerned about what's going to happen in the future.
Correct.
Because I'm buying into the future, right? So we need to be able to understand whether the economic agendas of a city like Dubai and UAE as a country are strong enough, powerful enough to attract the influence from around the world. If it's not going to attract that, then real estate is going to slow down. It
Correct.
might even collapse at some point if people are not interested. So it's important to understand the economic agendas, which we can talk about probably in another question. But if you currently look at where we are in a very, very strong place. We are one of the top performing markets in the world, and it is still a very good market to invest in. One indicator is when you look at the developers who are planning for launches. We have 250 new launches which are planned for 2025 alone.
Correct.
We're talking of 20 plus launches every single month. My view is going to get more than 250. So when you have over 250 new projects which are launching in next year, we know that the developers have understood the demand. They've understood the trend and the movement of the government in terms of creating the infrastructure for the future. We have the number 1 stable economy in the world, according to the US and World News reports. This year alone, in 2024, not this year, we just crossed over, but in 2024, we had 135,000 new units were launched.
Correct.
135,000 units. We were launching an average of 11,250 units every single month. November alone, this data is from Property Monitor. The December report's not yet out. November alone had 17,700 launches.
Wow.
Yeah, of that 71.8% were apartments, 23.9% were townhouses, and 4.3% were villas. So 17,000 launches in just a single month. Now, these are projects which will be selling now and selling over the next year or 2, with deliveries starting from 28 and beyond. So we are doing this because we know that the increase in population, the 70% growth is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are thinking right now, is it the right time to invest? The answer is definitely yes. There is an anticipation of price increases between 5 to 10% again in 2025. It's a conservative anticipation. It will probably still go up a little more than that. The average increase has been 15% a year for the last 4 years. So it is a great time to come in.
But this data itself, like these launches which are happening, like 250 launches which are planned in this year, coming this year, and so much of the inventory which is coming in the market, isn't it a trigger point where there will be a point which will be making market bit slow? Because most of our clients who are coming, they have this similar question, like so many launches are there and so many units each month are getting launched. So whether like this much population or this much people will be coming to Dubai, and these many units, if once they are ready, will there be a same ROI which is coming right now, or what will be the scenario?
Okay, I think the first concern that people have here is, will there be an oversupply and too many units in the market?
Exactly.
And if there's an oversupply, therefore, units won't move, which will cause a drop in prices or in the yields as well. The answer is that won't happen. Why? What people are doing is, when they ask this question, is they're just looking at real estate as an industry in isolation. Okay, you cannot do that. The moment you separate real estate from the economic growth plans of Dubai, it will not make sense.
Correct.
People are talking, you have to remember, especially international investors, they have a frame of reference. Their frame of reference is understanding real estate based on the cities and countries where they come from. Now, we don't have to fit in their frame of reference to be okay in terms of what we are doing. We are a new city, evolving, dynamic, aggressive, in control and engineering our future. We're not organically growing like the developed cities. So the first thing is someone comes in, they have a lot of experience in real estate, but they're coming in markets which have got a growth rate of 1.4%, 2% a year.
Correct.
So that is their frame. And if we are growing at that pace, it would be understandable to them and they would be okay with it. But we are not. So this is the first place where they have this challenge. The second second challenge is they don't understand the economic agenda. We are at a 3.81 million population strength right now, and we will go to 6 million in the next 9 years' time. We still have 250,000 new residents who are going to come into Dubai every year for the next 9 years.
9 years.
Now, if you look at the average family size in Dubai is 5.3. You'll get this from the CEIC, Census and Economic Information Center. Even if you take it as 5, that means we need 50,000 new homes every single year just for the new people coming into Dubai.
Correct.
We are expecting 238,000 homes to hand over in the next 4 to 5 years.
Correct.
So we are not even taking care of the 50,000 new homes required every year. And bear in mind, the 250,000 people coming, all of them are not families of 5.
Correct.
A family of 5 is not a big family. It's a husband, wife, 2 kids, and maybe a domestic help.
True.
But most of these people who are coming in will be coming in as single breadwinners. They would come in here, set themselves up. Gradually, family will come and join them, or they meet someone in the city and set up a family.
Correct.
So the likelihood is close to 65,000 homes is what we are looking for every year just for the new people.
Correct.
So with 1 million people coming in the next 4 years, we need something like 300,000 homes. We are only handing over 236. We are already short for homes just for the new people. What about the existing people here who came in, who have now grown to a level of financial ability where they are looking to buy
homes now?
So there are those. There is a third category because rents are going so high. They are now seriously considering buying homes. We need homes for them. Holiday home companies are showing up.
Yes.
6 months before handovers, they're starting to talk to landlords and saying, give us your inventory.
True.
So if that inventory is going to the holiday home companies, which have grown by 30% in just 1 year alone, where is the inventory for people who are looking to buy homes?
Exactly.
These launches that are happening is to keep that in mind. We're launching again 135,000 units last year. This year 250 projects are coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to have probably another close to 150 to 200,000 units. What people have to understand is all the handovers that are happening now is taking care of the current requirement in the market and the 1 million people who are coming in the next 4 years. That's what will be looked after in the next 4 years handover. Now, if we don't launch now, if we wait for the next 3 to 4 years so that the available inventory is finished, we'll have another 1 million people coming for the next 4 years, but no homes for them. Okay. Because if we are going to wait for the absorption now and start launching in 27 and 28, then from 29, 30, 31 and 32, people will sleep on our streets.
No.
So the launches for today are to take care of 28 and beyond.
Correct.
The launches of the last 3 years, which are handing over now, is to take care of these next 4 years.
Correct.
So the economic agenda has to be understood, which is drawing the people into the city. We are signing trade agreements with 400 new cities in the next 10 years.
Wow.
That's approximately 40 cities a year, 4 cities a month, 4 cities a week. So that means, tell me which city is signing an agreement with 4 cities a week? People are coming. We are building an airport to handle 250 million passengers in the next 10 years' time. Okay. Where are all these people going to live? We are doubling our economy in the next 10 years. How can you double your economy without having growth in infrastructure? We need more homes, business parks, we need warehouses, we need communities, we need hotels, malls, clubs, retail, beaches, parks. We need that. You cannot double your economy without having a proportionate growth. So when people separate the economic agenda and take an industry and look at its performance in isolation, it's not going to make sense.
Correct.
So they have to connect the two together, and then you will understand. That's why if you will notice for the last 1 year in the papers, every time a new initiative is being announced, you will see they're always saying in line with the Dubai economic agenda and the 2040 master plan. So everything that is being announced today is an initiative, part of making sure we double the economy, making sure we have the 400 cities working with us, making sure the 3 new business corridors are being opened. Southeast Asia, Latin America because of BRICS, and there's Africa, the emerging giant. So you cannot separate the two. Foreign direct investment is doubling to $650 billion in the next 10 years.
Amazing.
How are you going to do this without having people coming? The people are coming. And so we are preparing from now to have homes for them in the future. When you come from a city where the economic growth is stagnant or it is very slow, this pace is something you don't understand. And we get that. So that's why it's our job to be able to explain to them why we are seeing so much of activity in real estate. Does it all have to sell out at a launch? Not at all. The intent is to create inventory so that 4 years from now, we can take care of an additional 1 million who will come. Now, for that, I can sell it today at launch. I could sell it 2 months later. I can sell it even 6 months later. But that inventory will take care of the population in the future.
That's nice. So that's this thing, like the additional inventory which is getting built. Definitely, this will also help to keep the prices at a proper proportionate level. Otherwise, if there is too much demand and the supply is less, the prices of the inventory or the apartments or the villas will definitely shoot up.
Yeah.
So
the demand is there.
Demand is there.
Okay. With what will happen is we will see some slowdown at some point later. At this point, there's nothing slowing down. People said in 2020, let's wait. We are just coming out of COVID. Most of the countries are still shut down. We didn't wait.
True.
Prices went up.
Yeah.
Then people said, let's wait for 2021. Let's see whatever markets are just running. Oh, the hype of Expo will pass. We had a record year that year.
Correct.
Then 2022, we had Russia go into Ukraine. People said, now this will be global. It is going to impact people. Dubai is built on foreign money. It will stop. We broke the record of 21 that year. 2023, Israel walked into Gaza. They said, this is closer to home. Iran is going to get involved. This will definitely hurt Dubai. We had a record year in 2023. Last year, we had a record year. We smashed the 2023 by 36%. In terms of transaction. So people who are speculating and sitting there are losing out because if they are buying today, they're paying 60.27% higher.
Correct. Compared to
2020.
2020. Yeah. Post-COVID.
Yeah. So we know the market because again, it's an engineered city. We are building based on plans. We are not building just because there's a war somewhere and people will come here. Those have been the icing on the cake for us, but we never built our plans anticipating wars in other parts of the world. We built economic agendas.
Correct. This answer will help our audience to understand what's going to happen in coming next 10 years. Amazing. So as per the Dubai's economic agenda, so Dubai's 20-minute city plan, urban plan and D33, do you see new hotspots for investments that are backed by the government or something like this?
Definitely. There's nothing that's happening in Dubai that is not being supported by the government, and no developer is working independent of the economic agendas. We actually have multiple agendas. The 20-minute city plan is not just about 20 minutes as the city of Dubai. Today, we are creating micro cities in the desert because we are expanding. But if you look at the personality of all our communities, we want everything to be within a 20-minute reach of the residents in the communities. That's the reason why all the mega communities now are coming up with malls. They have schools in there. They have parks. They now have beaches and lagoons. You don't even have to come to the beach to enjoy a beach anymore. We are bringing them into the desert. They have business communities within it. They have jogging, outdoor activities. They're putting malls in there. So they're creating a complete ecosystem in each of these communities. So everyone living in all these communities doesn't need to travel far for anything to have a world-class quality of life. So that is part of the agenda as we are growing our communities going forward. In terms of the actual agendas itself, there are multiple agendas. There's the Dubai Economic Agenda, the 2033. There's the Dubai Social Agenda, 2033. You cannot only build economy. I have to build lifestyle also.
Exactly.
There's the Dubai Quality of Life Strategy 2033. There's the Urban Master Plan for 2040. We've got the Real Estate Strategy for 2033. The Dubai Investment Plan 2031. So there are just so many plans that are all working alongside each other, and the developers or real estate is growing based on that. For now, let's talk about a few points from a couple of them, which are the immediate focus of people, which is the D33 agenda, and then there's the Urban Master Plan 2040. Okay. The D33 agenda is looking to double our economy. We are going from 14.6 trillion to 25.2 trillion in the next 9 years. The actual target is 32 trillion. So we are more than doubling the economy. We are opening 3 new business corridors, one to Southeast Asia. We know why. China is sitting there. Correct. Many of the Southeast Asian countries now are very interested in Dubai. Singapore is losing some of their best people to Dubai today.
True.
Then we are opening Latin America because of BRICS. And you know who's in BRICS? It's China, there's Russia, there's India. These are the big hitters. We are in it now. There's South Africa, there's Iran. If you were following the news 2 days ago, Indonesia has been welcomed into BRICS.
Correct.
Formally, they've come in now. So we have all these countries. The Saudi Arabia has been called into it, Iran. So we are going to be the counter to the Western influence. The European Union is gone. So
Correct.
It's the North American influence, which is now going to be countered by a combination of East as well as Asia. So we're all coming together under BRICS. So there's going to be a lot of business coming out of Latin America. That's why we're opening a corridor there. We're opening a business corridor into Africa, the emerging economic giant on the planet. Yeah. All of this is part of that 33 agenda to bring the people in. We've signed, like I mentioned earlier, with 400 new cities, we're signing trade agreements. These agreements are going to bring 400 new cities into the Dubai map. We are doubling our foreign direct investments to 650 billion. Population is growing by 2033 to 6 million, and it'll go to 7.8 million by 2040. So we will have 5.15 million people coming in the next 16 years. 5.15 million people are coming. We are more than doubling our population. That's why you can see real estate is in demand. So in the economic agenda, these are our goals. We want to reach the number 3 spot in the world as a global city of influence and retain it. And by 2040, we will be the number 1 city in the world. That's in the 2040 master plan. So something great. Yeah. So when you look at the urban master plan, 2040 master plan, you will actually see we are doubling all our beaches, the growth by 400%. We are increasing marine and natural areas by 60%. We are aiming to become one of the top 5 financial centers in the world, top 3 in tourism and retail options. So with all these as part of the agenda, we can see a natural interest in the growth that is happening. We have one of the most friendliest tax structures in the world, like what Monaco has got, which is attracting all the billionaires of Europe. We will become the Monaco of the Middle East.
That's something boon what UAE have.
Yes, that is one attraction for us. Our accessibility, we are so perfectly positioned. If you actually look in this region, India is a big player on the global stage.
Yes.
There is no city in India, no city that can compare to Dubai in terms of infrastructure and quality of life.
True.
There is no city in Africa that can compare to Dubai. There is no city in the Middle East that can compare. The only cities that can compare, we have to travel between 6 to 9 hours away to go to Singapore or a Shenzhen or a Guangzhou in China. Those are the cities. So this is the hub, the regional attraction of everything that is going to be coming.
And that makes the people from India as well to move in Dubai.
Yes, look at the millennium
investments happening in the last year as well. So most of the Indians are in the current times as well, what the data is published by the Finance Department of India, that most of the billionaires, they are trying to move from India to Dubai itself. Yeah. Like 50,000 billionaires who are planned to move or they are forecasting that these people will move in coming years.
Yeah, that's a projection. It will happen. But if you look at numbers, and everybody has seen these numbers, it's been out so much.
Yeah.
It's from the Henley and Partner reports, the studies. We have seen last year, China lost 15,200 millionaires.
Yes.
India lost 4,300. The UK lost 9,500. The city that had the highest number of millionaires migrating into the city was Dubai. With 6,700. The second was US with 3,500. Then you had 3,800. You had Singapore at 3,500. Sydney took 3,200 and Toronto took 2,500. So for every 1 millionaire choosing Singapore or the US, 2 were choosing Dubai. Now, again, these people, when they're moving, they can walk into any city in the world on a residency program. They just put the million on the table, they can walk in.
Correct.
Any city in the world. When they have the opportunity to move to any city in the world, they're choosing Dubai.
Yeah.
Because it's ticking many boxes for them. Business environment and ecosystem, one of the best in the world. Financial access to finances and money, one of the best in the world today. Quality of life, one of the best in the world. The ease of doing business, tax-friendly policies, access to labor, technology, artificial intelligence, quality of life, infrastructure in general, economic agendas for the future. If you look at all of that, because they are moving families and businesses and coming in here.
Correct.
Last year alone, in all of UAE, we had 200,000 new businesses set up.
Correct.
That's 758 companies every single day.
True.
People know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So based on all of this is where you see the Urban Master Plan 2040 and the D33 agenda is pushing all this development. Our real estate strategy, the Dubai Real Estate Strategy 2033, is where we will sell 1 trillion worth of real estate every single year from 2033. 1 trillion every single year.
Number.
And we are going to be contributing 74 billion to the economy through real estate. So going back to my earlier question, when you separate the real estate industry from the economic agenda, you're in trouble.
Correct.
You're in trouble. That's why we have to be the ambassadors.
No one should do that, in fact, because all the real estate, anywhere in any part of the world, the real estate completely depends on the economic agenda of that country. What announcement the governments are doing, definitely in that part or in that region, the government's motive toward the development plan and everything, that definitely matters a lot for any kind of real estate investments.
Always.
And definitely the Dubai's economic agenda is something great, which is already planned for next 30, 40 years. So looking at that, the real estate market is going to be one of the best investment plan in Dubai. That's that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How does real estate investments in Dubai compared to the major markets like US, UK and India works like?
Okay. If you look at the numbers that we have, and I'm talking just last year, which is the year that just went by, the average price per square foot property now is $438 in Dubai.
Okay.
We are 3 times cheaper than New York and 4 times cheaper than London. We are less than half of what you would pay in Mumbai. So
correct.
you can actually earn or own more real estate if you had to put it in Dubai compared to those cities. Also bear in mind, these cities that we're talking about are all old cities.
So
if you go to look at Mumbai, for example, okay, or you look at Bengaluru, or you look at New York, or you look at London, the cities are crumbling.
yeah,
The roads are cracking, buildings are falling apart, streets are lined with their homeless people, crime as high as a skyscraper, very old infrastructure. The gyms are in the basement of buildings and you'll be only seeing stone in front of you. And in those kind of cities, people are willing to pay 3 to 4 times the price when we are offering a spanking new, clean city, high tech, 1/3 the price, going to number 1 position in the world, and people are still having a concern with that. Last year, increase in capital appreciation was 16.5% in Dubai.
correct.
It was 8.1% in New York.
Okay.
That is before tax.
Okay.
It was 1.6% in the UK.
Oof.
Okay.
Which
So
is-
how do you even compare these kind of markets?
Correct.
If you look at rental yields, we were at 7% last year
Yeah.
as rental yield. New York did 4.2 and London did 2.4.
Now, what about India?
India is also ranging between 2.5 to 3.5% depending on the city. That's it.
Rental incomes are not that
And
great
then the
in India,
taxes.
absolutely.
Let's not forget the taxes.
Yeah.
And let's just not forget the whole quality of the infrastructure and the investment and the opportunities.
Completely.
How many branded residences and lifestyle opportunities do you find in these kind of places? Why are the billionaires and millionaires choosing Dubai? Why are they not going to New York today or to London or to Mumbai? That's because even they have seen the future, because real estate is always about the future. So they're looking at the future, and that's why they're coming in this. Which of these cities is even expanding an airport?
None of them.
Exactly. We are building the biggest airport in the world. Okay, it'll be 2 times the size of Heathrow Airport.
Exactly.
Okay, the size of our airport is 70 square kilometers, the new one. That is 10% of the size of Singapore as a country.
Correct.
Imagine a city where your airport is 10% the size of your city. That's the volume of people that's going to start coming in. So when you compare with these markets, yes, these markets have legacy. They have long-term history. We have to give them that.
Correct.
But that's because they've been around for a long time. But in 24 years, we have overtaken every single one of them.
True. So what do you think is the biggest challenge Dubai needs to overcome to establish itself as a dominant global city?
Okay, firstly, I think we have already established ourselves as a globally dominant city.
Okay.
We've already established ourselves. If you look at the GPCI report that came out, it comes out of Japan, the Global Power City Index. We're number 1 in the region, 2 years running. We're number 8 in the world. So we're in the top 10 cities in the world. And I firmly believe that you have established yourself as a globally dominant city. We've already reached that place.
Yeah, because
we are not satisfied with that. We're in the top 10.
Top 10. Yeah, exactly.
And we're sitting and rubbing shoulders with London, New York, Sydney, Paris, Toronto, Shanghai, Mumbai, Singapore. So we are already up there. But we are not content with being there. We are going to go beyond. That is what Dubai is. The challenge, if you look at, for me, I think one huge challenge we are going to face is infrastructure again.
Okay.
We are growing so fast. Infrastructure takes time to develop. Right.
Yeah.
But people making up their mind to get onto a plane with family and come, they can make a decision in a week and a month.
True.
But to build the flyovers and the roads to welcome them in can take between 2 years to 4 years.
4 years, yeah, it takes
so
years.
The infrastructure, our plans are so magnetic, so dynamic that it has caught the imagination of the world. That is why 200 nationalities are now in Dubai, and and more are coming from these countries. So our plans are aggressive. Because you want to be the best in the world, you cannot wait to develop all the infrastructure first and then welcome people. It's a happy place to be, where we will have to grow as quickly as we can, along with
the
welcoming people coming in and the infrastructure. Just one example of how Dubai, we're already building an airport because 10 years from now, 260 million people will come a year.
Correct.
So we need to be ready for that.
Yeah.
3 months ago, Sheikh Mohammed announced the internal road plan.
Yeah.
3.7 billion dirhams is being put into constructing 634 kilometers of new roads, internal roads.
Correct.
It's being done in 12 areas through 21 different projects, because these 12 areas are going to see a population growth of between 30 to 80%. So in the next 5 years, that growth is coming, and in the next 5 years, we'll have 634 kilometers of internal roads in Dubai. 16 billion has been put into main road creation, because we are creating the roads to handle 6 million people. In the city, and that's going to be completed in the next 4 years. We have created the biggest ever budget for the next 3 years. This year, 46% of that budget, it's 86.27 billion is the budget for this year. It's 272 billion for the next 3 years. In 86.27 billion, 46% of that, over 40 billion is only going into infrastructure.
Infrastructure development.
30% of that is going into social agendas. We want quality of life.
Yeah.
We need lifestyle. We cannot only be about business.
Exactly.
So you're seeing all of that. 18% is going into advanced security and technology systems. Why? When our population is going to grow by 70% in the next 9 years, people are coming from all over the world. We have to be ready, security and response wise, for anything that can come into our city. This is how the government is thinking. That's why when people look at us, everything is moving fast. There's so much growth happening all around. People don't get it.
Correct.
Because we have understood our vision and the agenda. So we're going full steam ahead with all of this. And this is the challenge I think we were going to have. Can the infrastructure that we are building keep pace with the way people and businesses are coming into. You have 200,000 new companies that registered last year. Think about the requirement for offices, warehouses, Diva, water, electricity, accommodation for them, the visas, the handling authorities, the health facilities, clinics, hospitals, schools for their kids. There's just so much. So the opportunities are so much in Dubai. But I'm wondering, how are we going to handle all of this? The only thing I can say with confidence is, looking at how we handled our city in the past, we're still going to do it.
True.
Yeah, I still don't know how much
definitely we can see on the roads as well these days, like the traffic and all these things. Definitely we can feel the number of people they are moving in Dubai and the things are growing.
Yeah. Last year, new vehicle registrations increased by 10%. The global average is 2%.
Oh, that's something amazing. It's a big number. So now we know many things about the Dubai's real estate market, as you guided us every single bit of Dubai's real estate industry. Now I would like to ask you something about how someone entering Dubai's real estate sells with no prior experience, no network and limited resources. One piece of advice you would like to give to the agencies which are working in the market?
Okay, I think the first thing for someone who's new, who's coming in, okay, be very careful who you listen to.
Okay.
Honey always attracts flies. All right.
Okay.
So you need to be very careful. When you're new to our city, you may be new to the industry, you may be new to real estate, you may have sales as experience. There's a lot of people around you who will be ready to mouth off and tell you things. Some of them very good people. So you have the responsibility of making sure that you are picking out quality people who you can speak to, who will guide you correctly. Now, when I say guide you correctly, firstly, they must have the right intent. They must want to help you as ambassadors in their city so that you will also come in and set yourself up to have a dream career in real estate. Choose the right people, because these people, when the intent is correct, they can back it up with the knowledge, with the experience and the expertise, so they can help you to orientate yourself to the city and the industry correctly. So be very careful who you listen to. And the best way you can evaluate that is when people are speaking to you and you find yourself feeling a little negative or flat at the end of that conversation, please don't talk to that person again.
Okay.
Yeah, because they've obviously killed that fire and the dream that you had in a city that is moving to becoming one of the best in the world with so much opportunity. So choose these people very carefully. One. Secondly, if you want to join an agency, choose the agency carefully. Today, Dubai is so well connected. Everyone coming in here does know someone who has been here for some time. Do your due diligence. You need to do it. An agency that is not got a good legacy, an agency that doesn't invest in you, doesn't believe in you. Right? They're only looking at throwing you into the fire, putting data sheets in front of you and expecting you to make calls. Don't join such agencies. Do some fact checks on them. Meet people in the city. Understand which of the agencies has been around. Now, an agency doesn't have to be here for many years to be good. Correct. That, of course, is one of the criteria which will help. There could be young agencies, new agencies, but they are visionary. Just like a young city took on the world, there can be a young agency looking to take on the big players in the market. What's important is to check what is the vision of these companies, the quality of leadership in those companies, the amount they want to invest and support you, and how they go about managing their people and the business culture. That is very important. And that responsibility lies with you. You cannot later turn around and say, I didn't know. True. It's your life at the end of the day. You left your country where you're a first-class citizen. You left family, your emotional anchors, your roots, and you came to Dubai for our beautiful sand? No. Did you come to enjoy 50 degrees weather? No. You came because you had a dream and you believed this was the city that could help you achieve the dream. Find those who have already been dreaming and who have achieved it, and you are on the right track.
So that's something great. Definitely people will learn from this advice which you have given, and they should definitely do this kind of research before joining any kind of agency or entering into this market. That's something great. But again, how do you overcome price objection when dealing with the price sensitive customers and lower price competitors? Like how a person should deal with this kind of situation?
Okay, I have a few views on this that are slightly different from a lot of salespeople in the market. My first view is this. There's nothing that's expensive in the market.
So
There's nothing. You might have a budget of 2 million. If the person you're working with didn't qualify you correctly, or if you are looking at this fancy 4-bedroom villa, independent, which is at a 7.8, you'll say, Wallah, too much.
correct.
It doesn't make it expensive. You're just looking at the wrong product.
Wrong product.
Every product is priced for what it can deliver. If your capacity is to buy a Casio watch, you shouldn't be going and looking at a Rolex in a showroom, right?
True.
So Rolex is priced for what it is and what it delivers as an experience. Casio is priced for the same thing. So the first thing is this: correctly qualifying people and then positioning them against the right kind of product should take care of some of your price objections straight away. If a person is price sensitive, I have to qualify and ask him, what exactly does that mean? When you say you're sensitive about price, if you want to buy something where you're going to save money, is that the reason you're coming in to invest? Are you looking to invest to save money, or are you looking to invest to make money?
Exactly.
So let's be clear about what you actually want. I can give you a hut in the desert also, but I can also give you an opportunity that will give you an excellent return. What's the reason you're really looking at investing? Now, one reason why people can perceive the price to be high is maybe I, as a salesperson, did not qualify correctly.
Yeah.
Therefore, I didn't really understand how much they're looking at investing, or I bought surface level answers. There are people who will tell you money is not a problem.
Yeah.
And money is always a problem. There's no such thing as not a problem. All right. So I don't just simply throw something at him because he said that. I have to qualify. I have to nail him down. Secondly, even if I found a product that actually fits within what he's looking for, I may not have had the ability to present it correctly. So he cannot see the value in that product for the price you're asking him to pay. It doesn't make the product expensive. It's just, it wasn't presented well, so it doesn't look like it justifies the price. So that is one reason. Third reason is sometimes it's just a simple negotiation.
Correct.
When people are interested, how do you make money in real estate? By buying low and selling high. So someone who's sitting there and telling you, I think it's really expensive, how do you even know it's an actual price objection? Maybe he's negotiating with you. And let's think logically. If I'm qualifying, I'm finding out what does this client wants. He wants to have a 4-bedroom villa, standalone. He wants it in a gated community like a Tilal Al Gaf or a Dubai Hills, wherever it may be. And in my qualifying, I should be asking for that kind of a home, 4-bedroom, standalone in Tilal Al Gaf. How much are you looking at investing? I should be pre-qualifying. At that point itself, I already know whether the amount he's telling me makes sense or not. You don't go through all the presentations at the end, you hear too much.
Correct.
So now, let's say he tells you I can put 10 million for this particular unit. Now, if I show him that 4-bedroom in that community within 10 million, how can he tell you the price is high? Because he told me for that kind of a home in that kind of a community, I'm ready to put this much.
Correct.
Now, if I'm showing him that, where is the objection coming on price?
He's trying to negotiate.
It could be negotiation, or when you presented the solution, you couldn't sell its benefits correctly. This is what happens. Yeah. So price objections can come for many different reasons. Maybe once we should do a podcast just on price objections. Because I'll share about 15 different ways to uncover the real objections. There's also something called a smoke screen. A lot of times when a client is just not convinced and he doesn't want to make a decision, he doesn't want to tell you no. So they tend to use these excuses, and the typical ones that people will use is price is too high.
Yeah.
Dubai is a bubble. Yeah. There's a recession in many countries going on. The geopolitical situations are not right. So they will give these and they'll throw those at you as being the reasons why I should not buy, and they want to walk away. How do you even know that's a real objection? It's the same with price. Have you ever met an investor, or have any of us ever done it, where you walk in and say, well, how much is it? And they tell you price and I say, that's perfect. Give it to me.
No,
that never happens.
Never happens.
So people are going to tell you, oh, too much.
Yeah.
It's my job to be able to get him to articulate, when you say too much, what exactly do you mean? So, and most people, when they do that, they will go comparison. I can get in the other building, it's just 2 buildings away from you. They tend to go by the location. They'll say that building is only 1,200 a square foot, you're 1,400 a square foot. Parking the BMW next to the Bentley doesn't make it a Bentley.
Correct.
So we can be next to each other. That doesn't mean our prices have to be the same.
True.
Yeah. So there's so much to be understood. That's why people need to have the right selling approach. Because when a developer wakes up in the morning, he's not trying to outprice himself in the market. He's not saying, you know what, my neighbors are selling at 1200, let me go at 1500. He's not shooting himself in the foot. If he's going at 1500, he's got a reason why it's at 1500. Our job is to be able to understand why this justifies the 1500. And then you handle price.
That's a perfect answer for this. So that's very rightly said by you that the reasons which the most of the buyers or the clients they are giving for the price is something they either want to walk out for something, or definitely they are trying to negotiate a lot. But the qualification has to be done properly by our sales team. But again, depending on this, I would like to ask a question like, what are the key elements of building a high performing sales team in a Dubai's competitive market? Like, what do you think?
Okay. Firstly, performance is dependent on several things.
Okay.
I can hire a rock star salesperson, but if I could bring in a Messi or a Ronaldo in my team, but I don't even give him a basic football. What is he going to do? All his talent is useless.
True.
So performance is not just about the person. It's about the resources. It's the infrastructure. It's the technology that you have. It's the relationships that you have with the developers and within the communities with owners. There's a lot of things. It's the marketing, the lead generations, the campaigns. A lot of it comes together. I can't have great campaigns and great infrastructure and average salespeople. I can't have brilliant salespeople and have nothing around me. So to me, if you want to build a high performing sales team, we first need a high performance company. Correct. We need high performance leadership because they understand that invest and make returns on it. If I'm not willing to invest and I'm expecting returns, that's a pipe dream. So it starts actually from the company ownerships and the managements that they have to be high performing in the first place. Then the kind of recruitment that you do, if people enter into a building and they are average performers, it's not their fault. How do they enter the building?
Correct.
Someone allowed them into the building, right?
Yeah.
So what is my criteria? Have I even defined in my company, what does high performance mean in my broker?
Correct.
So we need to be able to set that in place, that definition, coach our recruiters to be high performance recruiters. You can't have average recruiters hiring high performance salespeople. They wouldn't even see it in the guy.
Correct.
So that's why I'm telling you it needs a high performance culture. To come specifically to the brokers, I'll just give it to you simply as A, B, C, D, E, something like that. I could go all the way up to G, H, and I, but let's just keep it. A, attitude. Check for attitude. It is the number one requirement for success. And attitude cannot be taught to people. They are coming with that attitude. Everybody comes with an attitude. Sure. Our job is to make sure it's the right one. Okay. So A is attitude. It's the number one thing I have to look for. B is belief. They need to have belief in themselves. They need to have belief in the industry. They need to have belief that this is the kind of company where I can make a difference and the company is going to make a difference to me. If belief is not there, everyone is making excuses. There's oversupply in the market. The other agents are taking kickbacks. My lead quality is not good. That's a belief.
Yeah. That's
okay. My manager doesn't care about me. Why do I have to come into the office when I'm not on a salary? These are all beliefs. And these are all being influenced by the attitude, whether it is good or bad.
True.
So there's an attitude. B is belief. Higher for belief. Okay. C is competence.
Yeah.
Now this is where I check their industry knowledge, if they've got experience, their selling approach skills, psychology, left brain, right brain clients, language pattern influences. I check for competence. Do they understand trends in Dubai, global trends in real estate? How are payment plans designed in the first place? These are questions obviously I would ask for people who got experience. If they're new, if they've had sales in the background, I'll look at their selling process I'll get them to pitch their product to me. I'm not going to go the typical sell me this pen. If they were not selling pens before, I don't want them to sell me a pen. If the guy was selling, I don't know, toothpaste or medicines, all right, sell that to me. And I want to check their approach because I'll see their attitude, their confidence, their belief and their approach in that. If the guy was selling luxury cars, okay, qualify me for a luxury car. Okay, so I need to check the competence. What kind of selling structure do you use, Hitesh? So give me an example. Let's say you have to make a call to a client. How do you prepare for the call? I ask these kind of questions, right? So competence. D, discipline. So there's attitude, there's belief, there's competence, and there's discipline. It is a major issue with a lot of salespeople, not just in Dubai, globally. And when the people lack the discipline,
True.
there is no way any plan that is made can get executed.
True.
So E stands for evaluations. The best salespeople, actually best performers, are constantly evaluating. You can add educate as well if you want in the E.
Correct.
They're constantly evolving, evaluating, and growing. So F stands for follow-ups or follow-throughs.
Correct.
Okay, they have to be extremely good on that. H, after F comes G, I think. Yeah, G. So goal-oriented people. I want people who are goal-oriented, not lethargic people who will sit at the desk where I have to push them with KPIs.
Correct.
H, hardworking. Okay, so I, interpersonal skills. Strong sales is about how you can, people buy from people they like, but
Yes.
people like themselves. So I would put this as what you need if you want to create a high-performing salesperson. It's attitude, belief, competence, discipline, education, evaluating themselves,
Goal-oriented.
follow-throughs, goal-oriented, hardworking, and good interpersonal skills. If you can get that in, or even if you can get some of that and your training is designed to create the rest, you'll get a good team.
That's something amazing we should focus. Like all the agencies in the market should focus on.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So even many of the real estate agents, they are starting their own agencies as well. So what are the challenges they are facing as per you, and how can they overcome these challenges?
Okay. I think the first mistake they make is just because they are good closers and they have good networks, they think they can set up a company. Being an entrepreneur and being a salesperson are two completely different qualities. All entrepreneurs have to be salespeople by nature because they have a product that they need to pitch to their clients. But it's not necessary that every salesperson can be an entrepreneur.
True.
When you are working in a company where someone who's got good business sense has designed a system, is investing in creating the CRMs, the lead generation, the marketing, the networks, the infrastructure, the support, because they are business-minded people.
Correct.
When they're investing in that and you just walk in and as a salesperson, you use your skill sets and you're doing well. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be great as an entrepreneur. Because as a salesperson, you are largely self-managed. I just have to worry about myself. Now, when I'm creating a team, I have to worry about others. I cannot be spending my time doing what I do. And what I do best is selling. So what happens? I tend to roll my sleeves up. I want to interfere. I'm going sale, when it should be manage. So they don't know how to do that. So I think the first thing they should do is do something like a psychometric test. There are so many online. Do an audit on yourself, on your business skills, entrepreneurial mindsets. Just do that and see how you qualify on that. Be brutally honest with that. We're not saying if you score low on that you don't open a company, but you already know where you're going to have challenges. Take some time and educate yourself. There are so many workshops that you could go to. Get online coaches if you want, who will mentor you into how you can scale up or start your own businesses. First, acquire the skills of business building, then set up your company.
Correct.
Because you acquired skills to sell and you've become very good at it, and well done. But that's not going to help you to set up your company. Secondly, don't be afraid to invest. You see, as salespeople, we did very little investment. Someone else invested and we capitalized on that.
True.
Now you're going to have a team that's going to be capitalizing on you. You have to be able to invest. It costs something for you to grow and earn from something. So you have to be willing to invest. You have to make sure you have good capital, good cash flow, 6 months to 1 year. You have to have a clear business plan and a strategy. Are you going to go off plan, or are you going to do secondary leasing as well? Is there going to be commercial? Will you do international, or are you going to do local? Are you targeting every community, or are you going to specialize in certain? There's a lot of planning and a strategy that needs to be created.
Correct.
So if you don't have the business acumen for these things, don't touch the brokerages. You're already doing well where you are. Go and learn these skills and then work with someone. Or you're good at building a sales team but not running a business. Partner with someone who's entrepreneurial. He will be the operations side of the business. You will execute the sales on your side. This is what you should do. Trying to go out there and set it up because you have a network doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what most of the brokers, they do this mistake. Like after closing few deals, they think that they can run the entire company, and after opening company, soon within 8 months or a year time, not even a year, they can sustain. They close down their brokerage firms. In most of the cases, this happens, and even they lose their connections of what they were doing before, and they lose the business and the capital or the money which they have made, and again they start from the scratch. So something they should not do where they are not competent enough. Yes, definitely they can do that, but they should take some time before doing. As told by you, they should know their competencies where they fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's perfect. So as earlier we discussed about the qualification of the leads, like we should qualify what exactly the client or the audience or the people they are looking for, and as per that we should pitch them the right product. What do you think, what is the best way to qualify the leads in real estate, and how critical is a CRM managing real estate leads and optimizing sale processes?
Again, this is going to have to be done differently. You can have inbound leads, you can have outbound leads.
Okay.
Inbound leads are people who are responding to campaigns you have created.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, if you're deciding, for example, you want to be offering a townhouse or a villa with a 3 million entry, you should be having your own pre-qualification criteria so that anyone who responds is coming based on that criteria. The need, the amount, the urgency, all of that you're going to look at. Now, in this case, you are not qualifying the lead. You're first deciding which is the developer I want to work with, or which is the community I want to be promoting, or which product do I want to sell. Is it commercial? Is it secondary? What do I want to sell? Then within that, I have to decide who do I want to work with, which community. For example, just as an example, if you are selling a Mina Rashid, it's very different from selling Mina Rashid to selling a building in downtown.
Correct.
Right. So I need to first decide what is the product I plan to promote.
Mm-hmm.
From that product, I'll understand who is the typical type of person who will be interested in this, and the qualification criteria comes out for that. Then there is the other approach to qualifying, where I get people who randomly contact me, or I'm at a road show, or I might be on a stand, or I'm just working through a network, and they're interested in property. There, what I need to do is I need to qualify them first, then find the property. In the earlier example, I know I want to present this type of community. My product is clear.
Correct.
From the product, I will start to identify which is the typical type of buyer I need for this.
So from product, we need to find out the right persona.
Correct.
Who is looking to buy for this product.
Yeah. So from there, from the product, I'll qualify the person. Now, in the second case, a person approaches you. You need to qualify them first and then find the product to fit them.
Correct.
It's the other way around. So typically when you're qualifying, what you are looking for is need. Mm-hmm. And there are obviously secondary questions attached to that. The need has to be very clear. The dominant buying motive should be found out. Okay. The dominant buying motive is, why is that the best opportunity for you compared to anything else?
Correct.
The dominant motive is always in the person, never in the product. Then financial capability.
Mm-hmm.
Do they actually have the kind of funds to get into this? Is it self-funded? Is it going to be a mortgage? If it's going to be a mortgage, do you have a pre-approval? Otherwise, you're wasting their time, your time, and a seller's time. So you don't want to do that. So I need to qualify this. First is the need, the dominant buying motive, the financial ability of the person. Then I need to be looking at time frames. How soon are they actually considering this investment or this home buying? Correct. How soon? And I also need to be always qualifying decision-making process. Who is going to be involved in the decision? Is this person just finding out for someone? Is it partners coming into it? Is it a home? So I need a husband and wife. Is it a corporate investment where this is a person who's just fact finding and then it goes back to a decision body? I need to find out who is the decision makers who are going to influence this. Otherwise, you can go blue in your face presenting things. There is no deal coming after that.
Yeah,
so typically it falls into these 5 areas,
mm-hmm.
or actually 4 areas, because dominant buying need motive is part of need. So you qualify the need, the capacity to pay, the time frame within which the decision is to be made, the decision making ability.
Absolutely.
These are the 4.
That's nice. So again, like what role does CRM plays in all this thing when we qualify the leads?
Okay. I think a CRM is absolutely critical. It doesn't have to be one of the global CRMs. You can even create homegrown CRMs, but you need a system. What gets measured gets managed.
Correct.
So it is very important to have the CRM in place. It's like the heart. If you don't have the heart, the person is dead, right? So I need something that will monitor. CRMs help you in planning. They gives you feedback monitoring daily processes, trends, data capture. It can be used to create communication templates to reach out to people. It can track leads in progress in the pipelines. And there's just so many other things that you could do with CRMs, which are very good. It's good for market intelligence, budgeting. Brokers leave the system and go. Leads are left hanging and people come in. They can read through the pipeline of information so they understand how to work with these people. It is very, very important that you have a CRM. But I would like to add something here. More important than the CRM is the discipline and the training of the salespeople to actually fill the data on the CRM.
Exactly.
The best CRM in the world is going to fail if people are not going to use it correctly. CRM is not going to create intelligence by itself. It's going to work on the quality of the data that is put into the CRM.
Exactly.
So if the quality of the data is weak or inaccurate data, like phone numbers, email IDs, names of clients being changed. So I'm working on weak data, I'll get weak output.
Correct.
Systems don't fail. It's people who fail.
Who fails the systems. That's right. So, sir, do you have any final insights for aspiring investors or real estate professional about succeeding in Dubai?
Okay, there are two different groups of people here. Okay, you're talking investors and you're talking those who want to make a career here. I think career, we have answered a lot by telling them this, be careful who you choose, have the right kind of mentor, select the company carefully.
Correct.
The A, B, C, D, E, F that we went through,
True.
It's all there for them. My only bit of advice to them is be absolutely sure that this is exactly where you want to be building your career. You're going to invest your time, you're going to be investing all your money, your motivations, your discipline in this. And don't forget, you do have families to feed. So if you are not sure why you want to be in real estate in the first place, don't even touch it.
Correct.
Okay. This is not easy money. It is plenty money, but there is hard work required. So you need to be absolutely clear about that. If you're an investor, do your due diligence. Don't just jump in because everybody's buying. That's the monkey see, monkey do, herd mentality. Everybody's buying, so I'll buy, hoping that they have done their research and due diligence. The other guy bought hoping you did it and came. So everybody's hoping someone did it. It's your responsibility. It is your money. So you have to make sure that you've done the due diligence, you've studied the relevant reports, you understand the trends in the market, you pre-qualify which broker or agency you're working with. Get tough with them. If the broker is worth his salt, he is able to answer all your questions and build the confidence in you. Choose only those kind of people to work with. Don't try and shortcut and try and say, I want a kickback, I will not pay commissions. If you're going to pay low, you will get a lousy product and a lousy broker. If that's what you want, if you want to lose money long term, go ahead with those tactics. If not, be a responsible investor and come to the table. Respect our good brokers and agencies in the market, and they will look after you, and it's a win-win for everybody. But Don't try to come in undercutting the market. Maybe you should stay where you are.
But how to overcome this kind of situations where people in the market, they are doing this kind of practices and it's affecting the good people or the people who have good practices in the market. When we are working as an agency, we face this kind of issues. Like few clients, they come to us and they keep complaining or telling that we saw this same property with you as well and with other agency as well, and they are giving us kickback, and why not you? So in that condition, like, should we leave the client or we should go with the client?
I would simply tell the client, if you're getting someone who, I said, firstly, if you've seen a property and you believe it's absolutely good, and if that guy is giving you a kickback, why haven't you bought it already? You should take it.
Correct. Okay.
They won't leave you. They won't leave you. Sometimes they've not even seen it with another broker. As simple as that. I said, if you have seen it and if you feel you're getting, you have to pay less, take it.
Okay.
They're not going anywhere.
If they go, we should leave it.
Yeah. They're not going anywhere. Okay. Because those kind of buyers, if they've already found someone who's going to give it to them, they'll close the deal there. They have not in this business of coming and sitting with you and going back and forth in conversations. They would have already done it.
Yeah.
They would have already done it. Yeah. It's the brokers who get nervous because the guy is using a very dark negotiation tactic. So they give in to it. Take it. You have the number of the guy. Let me call him for you and tell him you're coming in, lock it. I'll call on your behalf.
I guess that's the perfect approach.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Mr. Anand sir, for sharing your insights and valuable advices to us, to many of the firms working here. and also to the brokers and the entire industry. Definitely, with you, all the guidance and the advices which you gave today, what other people think about you and I think about you is completely in line with what knowledge you have. Like, you are the ambassador for the real estate industry in Dubai's market. We are lucky and fortunate enough to have you today on the Vista show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hitesh.
Thank you for staying with us till the end of this episode of the Vista show. I truly hope you have enjoyed this journey as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. As a founder of Vista Corporate Group, I have had the privilege of working with so many entrepreneurs and businesses over the years. I believe in supporting budding entrepreneurs and businesses, and I have also gained a substantial amount of expertise through mentors and meaningful discussions, many of which have shaped me into who I am today. As an entrepreneur myself, I understand the challenge of building a businesses from the ground up and what it takes to succeed. That's why I decided to compile my knowledge into 2 books. The first, Founder's Roadmap, Navigating Company Formation and Success, is your go-to guide for building successful businesses in Dubai. In my second book, Beyond Bricks and Mortar, I dive into Dubai's real estate market, uncovering opportunities and addressing the unique challenges that comes with. If you're looking to start a successful business or explore the world of real estate in Dubai, then these 2 books are perfect guide for you. They are available on all the platforms, but remember, limited copies are available. Grab yours today. You can find the link in description below. And to all listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Vista show. We'll be back soon with more inspiring conversations. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Your support inspires us to bring more valuable content. Until next time, stay curious, stay driven and keep striving for success. On behalf of Vista Corporate Group, I, Hitesh Bagmar, wish you all the best. Thank you.